Hello, welcome back to my channel, Silver Thread Sewing. I'm Diane. This is Friday Sews. So I hope everyone is well. I appreciate you stopping by my channel for a minute. I won't be too long-winded today, hopefully. Before I show you what I've made this week, I wanted to say thank you to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag. It's wonderful. It's just a great community to be part of, and I certainly appreciate it. So in the sewing part of this video, I have finished my Boxwood hoodie, and I will insert a picture of it. It's the second one I made. The first one had the red sleeves and the red hood and had some strawberry, the body of it was strawberry print. Well, I had a little bit of the strawberry left, so the next one I made has the gray body and the hood is strawberry, and then I drafted a little kangaroo pocket for the front. I wish I had had enough fabric to make the kangaroo pocket just a little bit bigger because it's kind of small, and I did put it up about, let me just show you. So I put it up just a little ways from the hemband, so there's a little space here, and I wish I had put the kangaroo pocket closer to the bottom, but I didn't have enough fabric to make it any bigger, so that's okay. But the hood is the strawberry print, and I love it. It's comfortable, and I absolutely love this gray fabric. Instead of doing like a twill tape through the hood for the ties or drawstring or something, I just took a piece of the fabric, measured it at 1 inch and cut it, and then I sewed one end closed and sewed all the way down the side. I wanted it to be about 1/2 inch or so finished, and then I took my little tube turner and turned it, and that's how I made the draw cord or the string or whatever you want to call it for the hood. And I'm very happy with that, and I think it looks good, it matches, and I did put the grommets in this one. So I'm real happy with it, and I've worn it a ton already. Now, on to something new. I know you're probably sick of the Boxwood hoodie, but it's a great pattern, and it's free, and I do highly recommend it. And I'll probably make more eventually, but for now, I think I'll probably not make any more right now, because how many hoodies can a person actually need? Anyway, I have had this pattern for quite some time. Well, I don't know when I got it, probably 3 or 4 months ago. I think it might have been on sale. But it's the Itch to Stitch Lisbon Cardigan. And this is the pattern, and it's the Lisbon. Just a plain little button front cardigan, long sleeved. It comes in 2 lengths. One is, the one I made is the regular length, but it also can be made in a crop length. And of course, I'm sure you could alter the pattern and make it long, make it as short as you wanted or as long as you wanted. And actually, I probably will play with this pattern some more because it's wonderful. I can't recommend that pattern enough. I love Itch to Stitch anyway. The patterns that I have made from them are fantastic. But this little cardigan was going together so great. This is the same sweatshirt fabric that my hoodie was made from, and it's just the perfect weight. It's just so soft and warm, but it's not real heavy, and it just sewed together beautifully, and this pattern went together beautifully. Now, I jinxed myself. I was working on it, and I had it all done except the cuffs, which are here, and I'll talk to you about the sleeves in just a second. But I had one front band on, and they just went together so pretty and just turned out so pretty. And I started to do the other side, and I got just a little ways down, and my lower looper thread broke. So I went on upstairs, and I took my sweater with me, and I showed my husband. I said, I've just got to rethread my serger, but I wanted to show you how well this is going together. Everything looked so almost professional. I was so happy with it. You put the neckband on first, and you leave those little edges raw. You put the bottom band on, and leave those front edges raw. And then when you put the front bands down the middle, that covers all your raw edges. And so it just went together perfectly. But I bragged on it too soon. And I couldn't get my serger threaded back. I just couldn't see to get it threaded back. It was the lower looper, and I kept working and working and working, and I couldn't get it. And I was so frustrated. So I thought, okay, this was night before last. So I turned my sewing machine on, and I already had the gray thread in it. And I started to zigzag the rest of this one front band. That was a big mistake. I guess the presser foot pressure was different in my sewing machine than it was in my serger. So it kind of started wrinkling the fabric up, and it was just a mess. Well, by the time I quit and finished, I had stretched the side of this little sweater out as well as the front band. So I took it upstairs again, turned everything off, and went upstairs. And I took my seam ripper, and when I went to bed that night, I unpicked the whole thing. But it was stretched out probably at least an inch, inch and a quarter, maybe even an inch and a half longer than the other side. And I was devastated because I didn't know what to do. So I started thinking about it, as you often do after you start to try to go to sleep. You know, you start thinking, how can I fix that? So what I wound up doing the next day, I came down. I'll tell you about how I got my sergers threaded. But anyway, once I got it going, I cut out a new front band. I took a gathering stitch, 2 rows of gathering stitches all the way down at the longest length my sewing machine would do. 2 rows. And I kind of drew it up just enough to where it matched this side. And then I took it to the ironing board and I steamed it really well, and then took my tailor's clapper and drawed the moisture out and dried it quickly and let it lay flat until it was completely cooled down. And that drew it up enough with those little gathering stitches to where I don't have any puckers that I can see, but it all did fit back in. And when I cut the new front band, I was able to go back and serge it and didn't have any more problems. I did put the cuffs on. Now, if I'm honest, the sleeves might be just a little bit long on me. I don't mind that though, because when I wear it out anywhere, I don't mind my hands, kind of being covered up because I get cold. And when I'm working or doing anything, I usually do that and just pull my sleeves up. So it doesn't bother me that they're a little bit longer. When I make it again, and I definitely want to make some more of these, I'll probably take an inch or so off the sleeve before I put the cuff on. And I don't mind it really without the cuff, but I tend to like to be able to scrunch them up so the cuff does make them stay. And I just did buttons and buttonholes, and everything just worked really, really well. So back to my serger. The lower looper that thread had just broken, and I don't know why. It was doing fine. It had made the whole cardigan almost. But I could not see in there well enough to thread it. And I worked for an hour that first night, and I worked for probably an hour yesterday morning. And I happened to think my friend, one of my best friends, Alan, he knows I have eye problems, and he's so kind and considerate, and he's always looking for ways to help me. And he had brought me this, and I look funny. It's a headlamp. So it has these magnifiers that come down. It has this little round one that's I think it's a higher magnification, I think. And then they'll raise up if you don't need them. But it's got a light. I won't put that right in your eyes. But look here, how funny. So how funny do I look? I look like maybe I don't know what I look like I am, an alien or a space person. But then you pull this down and this magnifies. And that helped tremendously. And being able to shine the light right into my serger helped me to get my serger threaded. So thank you, Alan, so much for my headlamp. I sent him a picture, and I told him, I said, now you stop laughing at me because this served a great purpose, but I did look funny. So it has been great. So if you are having trouble with threading things, if you can get your hands on something like this, just one of the little headlights or headlamps. I know you can get them at like Harbor Freight, the places where men get their tools and stuff, because I think they use something like this a lot in mechanicking and stuff. My husband has one, it's just got a strap around it, but it has a lamp on the front of it, and he uses it a lot. But this one actually goes around your head, and it is adjustable. And it doesn't have any markings or any name on it, so I don't have a clue where it came from, but I know that you can find all sorts of headlamps. All right. So, this Lisbon cardigan, my hoodie, and I worked on McCall's 8099, and I was making version B. I did not put the cargo pockets on the legs. This was in the basket of stuff that I had cut out a couple weeks back, 3 or 4 weeks back, just to have a bunch of stuff ready to sew up whenever I had a few minutes to sew. And I have made these little pants out of this flowery, it's kind of like a heavy chambray, I'm not sure. But it's got the little pockets here, and I double stitched the top stitching. And I put the back pockets on. Right there. I think you can see. Right there. So I'm real happy with the way they turned out. I took the pattern that my sewing buddy had drafted for my pants, and I put it on this pattern. Now, she had told me that she felt like that, like the crotch curve and the rise, would probably work for most pants that I would want to make that are not, you know, super fitted and all that. So that's what I used to make sure that the I don't know what you call it, the crotch curve, I guess, to make sure that all that was going to be long enough and was going to fit me. So I had made this a little bit longer by about 2 inches than the pattern had suggested. But it worked and they fit me, but I wasn't accounting for the fact that these have a waistband. They have a waistband here on top of the pants. So the pants fit me perfectly until I put the waistband on, and then they're about 2 inches too high. So I don't know for sure what to do about that. I've got the elastic. I've not finished them up yet. So I think I'm going to take the waistband off and maybe just try to see about putting the elastic right at the top of the pants. Might make them too short. I'm not sure yet. So I will report back on that. But I do love this pattern, and it's McCall's 8099. Went together very easily. And I think other than I have a couple pair of the Largo cargos cut out, and one is in the green canvasy type fabric that I found, and the other is in just a fabric that I had that's a lighter weight. So I've got 2 pair of those cut out, and that's probably what I'll work on this coming week, is just those pants. I think the question this week was, are you going to make a costume for Halloween, or are you going to dress up for Halloween? So in years past, our church has always done trunk or treat, and we did it inside a lot of the time because it's usually getting pretty chilly by this time of year. I don't know that they're going to do it this year. I don't think they are, just because we don't have a lot of people able to work with it anymore. But in the years past, my husband and I 1 year, 2 years ago, am I lying? It's been 2 or 3 years ago, I guess. He and I dressed up as Thunder and Lightning. And he was lightning, so he had the lightning bolt, and I was struck by lightning. So I'll put in a picture of us as lightning and struck by lightning. And then after that 1 year, he dressed as Moses. So we found him a white beard, and you know, he really looked the part. But he made his little 10 Commandments on pasteboard, and it was really funny. And I didn't know who to be to his Moses, and I didn't have time. I didn't put a lot of thought into mine till the last minute, and I was a Diet Mountain Dew. So I'll put pictures of that, but I completely made my costume. I bought a green t-shirt and did some drawing on the front of it, and then the bottle, and used tissue paper for the Diet Mountain Dew pouring out of the bottle, and then I glued a cup here And there was a teenager. He made my day. He came through that night, and he just stopped and looked at my costume, and he said, "Can I take your picture?" And I said, "Well, sure." He said, "That's what a costume's supposed to look like." So I think my Diet Mountain Dew costume was the favorite thing that I've ever made. Didn't require any sewing, but it was really cute, and we had a lot of fun. But I didn't really look right beside a Moses, but you know, it was fine. One year we actually, I went in my pajamas. I made myself a little, I don't think I have a picture of that, I'll look and see, but I made myself like a little nightcap with the elastic and the ruffle, and then I wore a pair of thick pajamas and my house shoes. Now, everybody thought that was a costume, but you guys will know that that's how I dress 90% of the time. So they thought I was dressing up. You know, I put curlers in my hair and night cream on my face, and they thought, yeah, she's dressed up. And I said, nope, I'm ready to go home and go to bed. So we've had a lot of fun with that over the years. But I said I would be brief, so I'm going to shut up there. But I hope that you have a great weekend. And I, again, appreciate all your comments and all your love toward my last video. Y'all are the best. But remember, sewing's just a terrific hobby. It keeps us out of so much trouble because we don't have money or time for anything else. So don't ever give up on sewing. If you like to do it and you find enjoyment in it, you just keep right on sewing, even if things don't always work out well. But I will talk to you guys later and hope you have a great weekend. Bye.